Hi all, welcome to my channel again. So, in this session, I'm going to discuss about the Jenkins interview questions part 2. Part 1 I have already discussed and posted in the channel. You can go and watch that video. And I have mentioned everything in this blog. If you want to check out this blog, you can check that from this link which I will be keeping in the description box. So let's start. So in the previous session, I have discussed the part 1, some of the interview questions for Jenkins, which will get asked in the interviews. And now the remaining questions I am going to discuss so that you will get a better understanding of what questions will get asked in the interviews. So how first question is how to create a continuous deployment in Jenkins. First, to create a continuous deployment in Jenkins, first we create a pipeline with for our application and set up the environment. Then we will provide the build stages with steps. Then we will configure the webhook on GitHub. So again, this webhook depends on the requirement. Webhook, what it will do is it will, whenever an event occurs in the GitHub, it will trigger the build in the Jenkins. So for that purpose, webhook is used, and also I have explained explained in a detailed version. You can go and watch that video. It will be present in the previous sessions about the webhook. So after configuring the webhook on GitHub, then make sure to enable the Git hook in the Jenkins configuration section. Okay, after that, now when any changes are made in the code and build, um, any changes are made in the code, then the build automatically gets triggered to build and deploy the code into the different environments depending on the trigger. Okay, so that's how you can answer for this question. The next question is how to build a job in Jenkins. It is simple, so you don't need these many steps. You can just create a job, whether it is a freestyle project or pipeline, anything. If there is a job which is present, then if it is present with appropriate Groovy or shell script required to run the project, then just go and click on the build now. Then it will trigger the job. Okay, that's how you can answer that question. And next question is why do we use pipelines in Jenkins? So pipeline is a combination of plugins that supports the integration and implement of a continuous delivery pipeline. So it has an extensible automation server to create simple and complex delivery pipeline as a code. So a pipeline is a group of events interlinked with each other in a sequence. Example, first we check out the code, then we build, then we push that artifacts to any repo, then we pull that, then we deploy. So these are the steps. These are interlinked with each other. After the first step completes, then only it move to the next step. So they are interlinked with each other in a sequence. So that's what here it is explained. Okay. So next question is only Jenkins is enough for automation? No, the answer is no, because Jenkins puts focus only on automating the project pipeline from building a code to deploying a code. But in order to have fully automation, there are tools like Ansible, Terraform, Chef, etc. You might have heard already that why Ansible is used, why Terraform is used. Okay, in order to restart any bulk servers, we use Ansible, and if you want to spin up any instances or do any platform related things, then you use Terraform. And next question is, how will you handle secrets? So secrets are something we will use to log in into the specific applications. For example, if there is an AWS, then we will have suppose we have to log into the AWS S3. So we need to have the credentials like access key, everything. So we need to consider as secrets because these should not get hard coded anywhere. This should be uh, this should be kept as a secret in Jenkins, either in Jenkins or anywhere where it should not be hard coded anywhere. So one time passwords. So it is one type of method you might have already known about the OTPs. And the next one is avoid hard coding secrets in the pipeline, or remove in the pipelines or in any secrets that were present that have been hard coded in the CI/CD configuration and Jenkins files. That is a sensitive information, so we should remove that information. Next is storing secrets in multiple Jenkins files. What it will do, this makes the credentials available to the minimum number of applications and users possible, and use authorization controls to manage secret permissions. So we can control the permissions to access these secrets. So that is one way of dealing with the handling of the secrets. So you when the interviewer asks this question, you can mention all of these five things. And next question is, explain different stages in CI/CD setup. You all know to build any job or to do the setup for CI/CD. First, we need the code. The main thing is the code. So that we get from the source code management, whether it is a GitHub or GitLab. Then we have the build steps. Build steps, what it will do, it will build the code, which will convert our code into the executable format, which can be tested and deployed. So after it is built, then we can run some automation test or any test, manual test also fine. So after that, we have the deploy. When code passes all the tests, then it can be deployed to any of the environment, not only in production. Then we have the monitoring to check the health status of the instance or the application. Like some monitoring tools used are Grafana. This you might have been known. Grafana is widely used, and this would help to determine the issue which can be fixed quickly. So these are, when the interviewer asks this question, then these are the points that you can mention to answer this question. Okay. So the next question is, name some of the plugins in Jenkins. So there are some plugins which are needed to be integrated with the Jenkins pipeline in order to complete our job. Otherwise, our job will get failed in the first step itself. Because if we are logging into some application, then we need the plugin. So these are some plugins: Git plugin, Docker plugin, Docker Compose plugin, Kubernetes plugin, Ansible plugin, and GitHub plugin. So those are the names you can mention, and that's all for today. If you want to check out this blog, you can check that from this link, which I will be keeping in the description box. And thanks for watching until then.